So we've got the latest on Frankie De Jong as his agent apparently visits Carrington. We've also got an update on Ibrahim Sangare, who is now in talks with Manchester United, and those talks are reportedly progressing very quickly. We also will have all of the latest news on Antony, who it looks like Ajax are already replacing in their squad ahead of a potential move to Manchester United. Loads of transfer news. Let's get into it. Hello and welcome to Stretford Paddock. This is the news. My name is Joe. We are here in once again freezing cold Melbourne. I was told Australia was hot, but that apparently is not the case. We're here on the banks of the river. You see the train station in the background, all of that good stuff. Manchester United will be playing tomorrow. We will be here to cover all of that. But before that, we've got some big news for you this morning. A player that we haven't seen mentioned amongst Manchester United's targets for a little while now, but it seems to be raising its head once more. This is coming from Rudy Galletti, who is a TV sports editor, works on Calcio Mercato, works on TV Dello Sport as well, and he has said that talks between Manchester United and PSV for Ibrahim Sangare are progressing well and quickly. Positive feelings for the midfielder. The price tag is around 35 to 40 million euros, and that is under discussion. Manchester United again are in talks with PSV for Ibrahim Sangare. Now, he's obviously, for those who don't know, a defensive midfielder, a sort of hard-tackling, more of a destroyer-type defensive midfielder, the sort of player that a lot of Manchester United fans, myself included, have felt that we've needed for a very long time. And like he says here, talks are progressing well and quickly. That is a very promising sign. Whether this is an alternative to Frankie De Jong, we'll get into some of the details on that move in just a minute. Whether this is an alternative or not, I think this is the sort of player that Manchester United are absolutely desperate for. Now, even if, you know, we hear these rumours that Ten Hag is interested in this sort of Eriksen-De Jong double pivot, or maybe more sort of industrious player like Fred with De Jong next to him. Even if we don't need a number 6 week in, week out, someone like Sangare is absolutely missing at the club at the moment. We don't have a single number 6, a single tackling number 6 at the club. We just don't. We got rid of Matic. There is 0 players of that profile left at the club. I think even if he doesn't want to play with one week in, week out, let's say we're 2-0 up against Man City in the semi-final of an FA Cup, or we're 1-0 up against Atletico Madrid in the Europa League quarter-final, you might just want to bring someone on that can sit in front of the defence, that can tackle, that can sit back a little bit and can win you the ball back in those games. You might not want it 40 games a season, but I'm sure there is half a dozen to a dozen games a season where you might just fancy subbing on someone like Sangare or of a similar profile to just shield that defence. Yes, possession play is ideal. Yes, that's what Ten Hag wants. But there are always going to be times for every football club where you just need to hold off the opposition. And I think United could do with someone like that in the squad. Like I said, we currently have no one that can do that in the squad at the moment. And I think it would be very unwise to go into next season without a single, CDM, a single true tackling number 6 in our entire squad. That seems a little foolish to me. And Sangare is someone who, again, 35 to 40 million euros, that's the sort of price where it's modern football, isn't it? That's what you pay. You don't really get anyone with any sort of profile, any sort of talent, any sort of quality for under 30 million euros unless they're very young or have been playing in a league with a particularly sort of, small reputation. He's playing in the Dutch league. He's obviously a very sought-after player. I think Liverpool have been linked with him as well quite heavily. This is the sort of fee you're going to be looking at for a player of his quality. I think he's definitely one that United should be looking out for. And again, any updates on this, we will be bringing them to you. But again, Rudy Galletti, who is the sports editor over in Italy, works on Calcio Mercato and TV Dello Sport. He is saying that talks are progressing between United and PSV and are progressing quickly. So that's definitely one to keep an eye on. Next up then, Frankie De Jong. Frankie De Jong, right? What is the latest on Frankie De Jong? That's what everyone's asking. Well, there's multiple different stories coming from multiple different sources on Frankie De Jong. Every single day we wake up to different flip-flopping news about Frankie De Jong. This one is coming out of the Mirror, the Express, saying that Barcelona give up on trying to get Frankie De Jong to join Manchester United. Barcelona star Frankie De Jong is Manchester United's main objective for the summer window, and Barcelona have reportedly shelved the idea of giving Frankie De Jong to Manchester United. This is despite a desperate attempt to reunite with Ten Hag, who he previously worked under at Ajax. I mean, again, it's the Daily Express, so we can take that with a little pinch of salt. But again, it almost goes the other way now, because here's the other story that we're coming from the Express as well. Manchester United have hosted De Jong's agent at Old Trafford this summer as new details reportedly surface. Now, they're quoting the MEN in saying that Frankie De Jong's agent has been at Carrington this summer. Ali Dursun has been at the club this summer, but he's also, I believe, the agent of Tyrell Malacia. So I'm not exactly sure whether that necessarily means anything or whether he's even been there to discuss De Jong. But this is what I'm trying to say. The newspapers at the moment can't seem to make their mind up as to whether it's happening, whether it's not happening. There's also been reports that Frankie De Jong would only want to leave Barcelona were he to join Bayern Munich. They've just signed Matthias de Ligt as well. Obviously, someone who De Jong has got a rich history of playing with De Ligt, great success at Ajax when they were there together. Maybe that's true, maybe it's not. We've also heard, like we said, Jay reporting the other day, that there's rumours now that United have changed the structure of his contract, giving him an extra bonus to try and help cover those unpaid wages from Barcelona. My point is, whatever you want to find on the De Jong deal, you can find it. It's happening. It's not happening. His agent wants it. He wants it. He doesn't want it. He wants to go to Bayern Munich. He wants to stay at Barcelona. Well, you can find it. And I think what we need is everyone to just calm down, go and speak to De Jong in private and go, do you want to join? And if he says no, let's just back out of this deal, because I can't imagine Ten Hag, all of these supposed conversations with Frankie De Jong, he didn't think to ask at one point, do you fancy this, do you fancy this move? There is no way Ten Hag doesn't have an understanding as to whether Frankie De Jong wants to join Manchester United. And therefore we have to assume that he is willing to join Manchester United, because why would Ten Hag waste his time if not? The only thing that maybe would throw a spanner in the works there is whether De Jong is lying about wanting to join United in order to really convince Barcelona that he wants to stay, or that he wants to leave, should I say, in order to get those wages paid. Who knows? But I can't imagine he would be willing to sort of sacrifice the relationship he has with Ten Hag for the sake of lying to him to get Barca to pay him his unpaid wages. I think De Jong is clearly willing to join Manchester United. There's clearly this impasse over the wages. Manchester United, again, look to be doing everything they can to overcome that, willing to pay him more money, willing to give Barcelona further money up front and smaller money, lesser fee in the add-ons. We're trying to do everything we can, and Barcelona going, no, we're just going to sign Lewandowski instead. We're just going to sign Rafinha instead. We're just going to sign every player under the sun instead. Worth mentioning again, Lewandowski is now a Barcelona player on huge wages, and they spent, I think, 50 million euros on him, a player who's 34 and in the last year of his contract. And now they expect Manchester United to believe they don't have, 13 million quid in Frankie De Jong's deferred wages. No one is buying it, Barca. Everyone is looking at you going, you are taking the mick out of not just your players, but opposition clubs around Europe. You are just taking the mick. And the fact that they're signing player after player after player whilst not paying their own players' wages, to me, I mean, I don't know, football seems to be a rule unto itself, a law unto itself. That's not just like, oh, come on, Barca, pay up. That's like, court of human rights type stuff. Like, that's working law stuff. You can't just not pay people and sign more people into your workplace. That almost seems like just employment law. Frankie De Jong could just go to the council and probably get that money paid to him. Very, very strange dealings from Barcelona at the moment. But the latest on Frankie De Jong is Man United are still trying. It seems as though Frankie De Jong would be open to the move. We just have to wait for the latest updates on that one. I'm still hopeful this deal is going to get done. But again, Sangare is waiting in the wings if maybe De Jong isn't going to happen this summer. And finally then, the latest update on Antony, the Barcelona winger, of course. Manchester United have been handed a potential boost in their pursuit of Ajax forward Antony, as the Dutch Giants closing on a deal to sign Francisco Conceição. I'm probably getting that completely wrong, but this is the story that basically Ajax are looking for a replacement for Antony. which again would obviously boost the chances of us signing him. Ajax, the Dutch side star player last season, is hopeful of rekindling his strong relationship with Ten Hag amid reports that the player's representatives recently travelled to Europe in order to help negotiate a deal this window. Ajax have already moved to bolster their attack this summer with a player who shares a similar profile to the Brazilian, as they completed a deal to sign Steven Bergwijn from Tottenham. Just as with Antony, the Dutch international is a right-sided attacking player, and his arrival would soften the possible loss of the forward to United. Now, following that, they look to sign Conceição from FC Porto. The 19-year-old enjoyed a breakthrough campaign as a Portuguese club last season, and the under-21 international is now poised to make the switch to the Eredivisie. So Ajax are slowly filling those gaps that may be made vacant by Manchester United signing of Antony. It remains to be seen whether United will sort of take advantage of Ajax a little bit and take two of their players. I remember when Rob Dawson came on the show a couple of weeks ago and I spoke to him about the situation. He said there was a sort of gentleman's agreement that Ten Hag wouldn't raid Ajax on the way out, that he might take one player, maybe two at a push, but ideally he's going to leave Ajax and leave them in a solid state rather than going, I'll have you, and you. We've already got Martinez. I think Antony would be a push, and if he was, he would be the final push into the Ajax squad. So again, that's another one to keep an eye on. It still seems as though midfielder is our main target. We haven't signed one yet this summer, other than Christian Eriksen, who again, as much of a smart and astute transfer as that is, he isn't Ten Hag's number one target. We know that. He wants that deep line playmaker. He wants Frankie De Jong, and it remains to be seen whether we get him and whether we go for Antony after that potential deal is done. Thank you very much for joining us. I can't believe how cold it is here. My hands are freezing. I need to get back inside. Thank you for joining us. Hit subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll see you in a bit.